You are listening to a pleasure podcast. For more from our sex podcast collective, visit pleasurepodcasts.com.
Okay, do we want to know how this could have gone, but it didn't go? And if I look like I just cried, it's because I did? Happy Monday. Welcome to the Horny Housewife podcast, or welcome back. Okay, we're ready. I got on to record, and then I get a text from my therapist who said, "Are you here, bitch?" She didn't say bitch. And then I said, "Oh my God, I have therapy." That's not the first time I've done it. That's the second time I've done that. My hair is dirty. I had to slick her back, and which is cute, right? If I'm like walking and talking and like doing the damn thing, but when I'm right here, I'm just like a little boy. And it's just upsetting. It's okay. Basically, my dad's twin right now. People are like, "Oh, your mom, she was so beautiful. I see where you get your beauty from." And then people see my dad and they're like, "Oh, you look like your dad." Exactly. So I jumped onto therapy, and then I had to, oh my God, my neighbor just walked by and is like, "Is she a webcam girl? Is she a big fucking dumb slut?" Just kidding. But she did walk by. And if any of my neighbors ever listen to this, I love you all. I don't even know any of y'all. I'm new here. And I just want them all to like me. And I really want to start a neighborhood bunko group. But for some reason, I'm not getting the vibe that they'll come. So, it is summer. You think we'd all bond by now. Who doesn't want to drink wine and roll dice? Speaking of rolling dice, I just got back from Vegas last night. We weren't winners this trip. If you know, you know. Last time we went, we were up. And the universe rewarded my husband. I told my husband, he bought me a bag, and then he won that money back in double. So the universe was like abundance. This time, Vegas giveth and taketh away. So we're just viewing it as a good old time, chalking it up to a vacation. We could have went to Bora Bora, but so yeah, I had to hop on therapy, cried my makeup. My hair probably got dirtier in that hour from like the stress, my cortisol levels. Just kidding. Kikied, and I don't even know why I cried. Like literally, I'm like, why am I getting emotional? But maybe it's because you treated your body like shit all weekend. Maybe. So yeah, I'm back. It's the last week of school for my son. And I don't know why. I think we can all LOL about this, but why do the schools want you to spiral? Why are they like, "Hey, we know because we see you at pickup and drop off, so we see the crazy look in your eyes. Why don't we make the last week of school? Why didn't you do it the week before the last week? Why don't we do it the first week of the last month of school? Why don't we just do pajama day every day for the last week of school? Just, instead of like all these themes every day, volunteer for this, volunteer for that, do the other. Then it's a half day. And then and like I'm so excited for him. I remember the last week of school and just so much fun. But I swear it stresses the F out of me, at least me, and I bet you some of you can relate too. You're like, why is it the last week of school where we have 710 things to do and 702 parties to go to and all the loose ends to tie up, and you better go have lunch with a friend because it's going to be a while before you do. And then we got to think about outfits. I don't want to think about outfits. So, mommies, are we bracing for summer? Brace. It'll be good. It'll be a fun time. I can't talk. STFU Jordan, I signed him up for camps. He's camping. Not really. I would never send him overnight. I watch way too many documentaries. We are not a Boy Scouts family over here. We're not doing the groups. We're not doing We're not doing the volunteer staff. I'm sorry. I highly recommend. We can't live without volunteers. You're right, we can't. But I need to know that there's background checks performed. I need to know that people are on top of this stuff. If you haven't watched the Scouts documentary, it will blow your mind. Blow your minds. On this beautiful Monday, what are we going to talk about, Jordan? Well, I've got juicy ass listener questions. There's an affair in there. And the aftermath, and we're going to talk about it. And that's the one that's really standing out. The other ones, Mommy's just grabbing from the hat and shooting from the hip. And those are really, they turn out to be just wonderful, fun, sometimes relatable, sometimes just WTF, sometimes STFU, all of the things. And then today, I'm going to hopefully provide a little insight, a little inspo, not just for the men, but for the women too. Men who want to lead in their relationship and maybe have an idea of what that looks like. And for the women who maybe you articulate it really well. Maybe you don't know how. Hopefully I can come in and say what you've been wanting to say or didn't even know you wanted to say, but you're like, I wanted to say that. And then maybe also provide a little, I should check myself of like how you can let your man lead. And we're all human. And I don't know about you, but I bet you can assume that there's a little spicy in me, Scorpio rising. So this isn't something that like, I'm just amazing at this. This is just what you need to do, okay? It's like I have to check myself. I have to, I get triggered. I can want to control and need to feel like I have a grip on something like survival mode. And then I have to tell myself like, what actually makes me feel really safe is like leaning into my feminine and letting him handle this. If like I just confirmed, you got this? You got that? Okay, I'm going to let you get this. And like watch how that unfolds. And I know the thoughts you're thinking, ladies, but Todd can't fucking do that yet. We'll talk about that, okay? Strengths and weaknesses. Not all men have the same strengths. I know we can think, this is what they're supposed to do. But just remember when a guy says, well, all women should they should be able to cook. Guess what? Some women don't like to cook and they're not going to cook. And it doesn't mean they're not a good wife. You know what I'm saying? So let's just come in with an open mind. I'm really using my hands this afternoon. Okay. Are we ready to start? Are you ready? Oh, one little note, click that subscribe button, click follow, leave me a 5-star review, and write a review. Write something kind. Welcome the people in. Say, it's a good time over here. Jordy's going to shoot it straight. We're going to be best friends. Big sissy, little sissy. Please call me little sissy if you want me to be a nice sissy. Let's do this. Okay, listen up. If you are serious about leveling up in the bedroom, if that's something you actually want and you need a resource, and this one's fun, like it's fun, it's enjoyable, it's arousing, straight up. Beducated, like educated, but beducated, get it? He. Whether you're gonna watch it alone, it's an online course platform, over 100 courses, expert taught, or watch it together as a couple, highly recommend both. Great date night activity. Staying at home together, instead of watching a movie, you could do both. Watch a movie, take a beducated course, but taking a course together, you're gonna fuck. You're probably gonna smash. And ladies, like he's learning, like, and men, ladies, you will be learning technique. It'll increase your emotional intelligence. It'll ask you the right questions. That is the ultimate prompt to like get you talking about sex. And it has opened my eyes, my mind, my world. Game changer. So impactful. 0 regrets, 12 out of 10 recommend. And right now, if you use my code Jordan33, Jordyn 33, you will get the lifelong subscription for half the price. So Chef's kiss. What a freaking deal. Making it really easy and putting that link in the episode notes. So just click that or go to beducated.com, BEDUCATED, and use code Jordan33, JORDYN 33. Check it out. This is going to sound kind of mean, but I feel like a dinky load is kind of like a underwhelming. Maybe incites rage. You're like, do you masturbate all the time? Like nothing came out of you. Are you dehydrated? Are you not turned on? Is it empty? We want you to be like a fire hose. And then if it tastes like shit, you want her to swallow, not with that. This is when you need Pop Star, and for multiple reasons. Okay, bigger load, right? Enhance your load volume, better taste, that pineapple sweet delicioso, and support your overall semen health. So like that's like, yes. And then 2 Percolicious that give me a daddy load. And she's like, yummy. If you eat a lot of red meat, like if you don't get this Pop Star, I'm going to cook your freaking ass. Right now, Popstar is offering my listeners 20% off your order when you enter code HornyHousewife at popstarlabs.com/HornyHousewife. So you can check the link in the episode notes to make it a lot easier, or go to popstarlabs.com/HornyHousewife using promo code HornyHousewife. Go check it out. It's time. Listener questions. I'm sorry if you had headphones. It's 11:11. Make a wish. Can you make a wish if it's really not 11:11 where you're at? Just kidding. Could you hear me? Could you not hear me? Amazing show. Can you do a poll? Sure, I can. Curious to know how often stay-at-home moms use their vibrators during a week when alone. Does it change during summertime when the house is full again? You know what? While I first wanted to roll my eyes when I got to that, does it change in the summertime? I'm like, that's a valid point. That's a valid point. Just like if you're busier, right? You don't have the time to do something, can't fit the little self-care in. Yeah, she probably doesn't have time to DJ Diddle Skittle as much, but maybe she's a horny housewife and she's like, there's a will, there's a way. And if there's a time of the day, but I could be wrong. I think this varies person to person. Our drive isn't, just speaking for myself, but is not consistent. Oh, I forgot that I had my shirt all like the way you should wear this shirt is a little open here and then open down here for a little smid. But my MIL, my mother-in-law, God bless her, love her, she's my favorite, showed up to drop something off and I was like, button it up. I didn't want her to be like, Tisk, what a whore. So, sometimes I do, It's called respect. So yeah, I don't know. IDK my BFF Jill. So we'll have to take a poll. Obviously, I have more male listeners than females. Ladies, let's do something about that. The female listeners here, chef's kiss. When you find it, oftentimes I get a sweet person saying, "Hey, I just discovered the pod. Love it. I'm here." And it's like a sister. It's like an immediate bond. Real recognize real quick. So if you are listening on Monday, you will catch that poll in time. If you missed it, don't be shy. Slide in the DMs. Moving onward. This question, when we were flying home, we were taking off from Vegas and a man did I don't want to be disrespectful. Half my family's Catholic, the rosary, I'm sorry, ignorant. I feel ignorant. I don't know what it's actually called, but did that when we were taking off and it was incredibly windy and turbulent and it just, I immediately did it too. And I think that was my, survival, fight or flight. I'm like, oh God. The older I get, which I'm not old. Okay, I'm not old. I'm spiraling because when I put on some pants that I wore 5 years ago and brought them to Vegas, they didn't fit and everything came crashing down for me. But you know what? It's because my ass got bigger. So I feel like it's not the end of the world. If something had to get bigger, I was okay with that, right? I'm okay with it. But yeah, the older I get, the more I'm scared of flying when I know it's one of the safest ways to travel. And IDK, why I'm a big baby, but because I'm like swinging in the car. Jesus, help me take the wheel. But I don't know, just it's scary. That's a little bit scary. Intrusive thoughts. Okay, Jordan, love the podcast. I have a long story, but I'll save the details for now. Some people are like, phew. Long story short, my wife confessed to an affair last year that was 8 months long. That originally seemed to be more of an emotional affair until I found out about pics and text sent. I mean, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but like you may never know. You know, you probably will never know the actual extent. Which is okay. Acceptance. We have had deep conversations about how we ended up here with good resolution on our end. Pinkies crossed. I confronted her AP, which means affair partner. I just put 2 and 2 together. And basically said, F off. F off, dude. He is a very confident, aggressive male that is married with 4 children. What's his name? Name him. So I felt it was important to set those clear boundaries. This is someone that has kept contact for 20 years. So I'm not confident he will suddenly stop. You should be confident he's going to stop because your wife is not going to allow it. It's called a boundary. Think about if it was vice versa. Is it her responsibility or is it your? No, like that guy doesn't owe you shit. You know who does? Your wife. I know you're thinking red flags that she's kept contact with this guy. And yes, it is. And we discussed this. And like also to like just like I know, like I have a lot of guy friends that I had growing up. And some, you end up hooking up with and stuff. And guess what? I don't maintain a relationship with them. I don't do that and share. Because I remember being in relationships and being young and stupid and basically, I guess I'm being a piece of shit, reaching out and wanting to like vent, validate, like that's wrong. Like that's not okay. Like that wouldn't be okay. I would not be okay if I did that, if my husband did that to me, and he would not be okay if I did that to him. You know what I'm saying? So we were all young and stupid at some point, and I think I still see it in listener questions, people that just don't think it's wrong, but really, you can have no feelings towards that person of like, oh, like I'm not even looking at them like that. Like I'm not wanting anything out of it, but you don't know their intentions. You don't know what's going to happen. You're basically putting yourself in a spot seeking attention, wanting to be coddled, consoled in some way from the wrong person, and check your reasons. Okay. She saw him as a close friend, and I trusted her on that. And that is why I do not think, this is just my opinion, I know people will disagree, you should have close friends of the opposite sex when you're married. I don't think that serves your relationship, marriage, in any way. And there are people that will say that I'm insecure and that I have trust issues. Both of those things may be true. But I do. And there's a lot of people that agree with that stance that I have. Is it coming from a place of insecurity? I mean, parts maybe, but I actually just think, let's be realistic. Let's be realistic. There's a ton of guys who would say, nope, she's right. Usually there's one person who might feel like more, if it could be more than friends, they would. And then some are like, no, Jordan, no, you're being such a cynic. You're being paranoid. If it's two attractive people, and yeah, I guess I am being shallow. Like, what if they're ugly? I don't know. You're like, ow. And what's ugly? That's subjective, okay? That's subjective. Because if they would be so disrespectful, like this guy is being, he doesn't respect you at fucking all. He does not respect you. He does not respect your relationship. Not at all. Okay, wait. We got to get back in. I've been able to move forward positively with my wife, but can't get the thought of this guy feeling like he was able to do what he did without repercussions. Is it wrong to contact his wife to tell her what is happening? And if your wife gets mad about that, which I wouldn't go advertise to her that you're going to do that, because you're going to do that. I'll do it for you. Would you like me to do it for you? He makes a lot of money, and I feel she should protect herself financially, since I know he will eventually leave her when he gets the things the way he wants. I mean, he may not. He may just cheat on her the rest of their marriage. Am I wrong, or should I focus on my marriage and let it play out? That's probably like the right answer. That's probably like the healthy answer. That's probably like what a therapist would say to do. But I'm fucking telling you, tell her. I think you should tell her. I think you should. Do you have any evidence of this? Like, this is the talk. Like, this could irritate some people, but I really think you should fucking tell her. Like, I know it's karma that'll play out. Like, maybe it's your turn to be said karma, okay? So, it's agonizing to know he may get away with this behavior without any fallout, leaving his wife high and dry. Part of me wants to impact him where it hurts most, and that is his status and his wallet. And you know what? Like, his life will be his life, and he, she may turn a blind eye. There are and I've seen this like IRL, women who just, they don't read the message, or they read the message and they don't believe the message. And I'm not talking about, like, I don't personally know celebrities who, when you see that on TV, they're like, yeah, well, I didn't take the message or the messenger seriously because I'm told things, and they're like, oh, your man was out with me last night. And I'm like, I was with him the entire evening. So, like, lies that are told, like, to, ruffle feathers, clout chase, whatever. But I'm talking just a regular old plain Jane, average Joe, real people. And the girl not believe. It's like, why is someone coming to you lying? Like, you're not that important. Like, no one gives a fuck. Like, she's being a girl's girl. And maybe her motives are like, if he doesn't want me, then she's going to know. They could be bad motives, and that sucks. But again, that girl doesn't owe you anything, and she's doing you a favor, whether she meant to do it or not. Like, do you want to look like a stupid bitch? Like, I don't. Please, if someone knew that my husband was doing something to me behind my back, please tell me. I don't want to be a stupid bitch. I don't want to. And guys will say, like, if a guy has told you, oh, we're in an open marriage. Oh, she doesn't care. This is how it is. They're lying. Unless you have the couple come up and talk to you and confirm, and y'all are all on the up and up. If some man tells you that this is how it is, and you have no way to confirm this with that woman, and it's like, you're a side chick. You're the mistress. He's lying to you. And you hear all the time, like, no, like but he's not. Like, I've heard, I know, but he's not. He is. He is. And I get why you want to tell this guy's wife, because I would want to do the same exact thing. Like, I want to take action. I don't want to be the bigger person. I want to throw a rock in the water. I want to get revenge. I want to hurt people. I'm hurting, so now I want to hurt you. That kind of like immature, childish, whatever. So I'm voting that we take that route. God bless. But yeah, I if you don't want to, make a pros and cons list. If this man can like come after you with that money, like don't like commit slander, don't break a law, don't do anything that he can sue you for. Getting a cease and desist, I don't know why you'd get one, but if you did, it's like, don't let that's a scare tactic. That's all that is. And like, you already said what you needed to say. But if you're gonna go tell her, have proof. Have some evidence. And I know my female listeners are like, tell her. Someone told me to not clap because it probably really hurts your ears on the headphones. So I'm sorry that I already did the clap. Okay, let's move on. Today's episode is brought to you by Splash Blanket, the world's most luxurious waterproof blanket. Have you ever made a mess so good that you needed new sheets? There's a better way. No more towel stacks or sleeping in the wet spot. Ew. It's time to level up your love life. Okay, let's be a little bit classier. Let's be a little chicer, okay? Get you a Splash Blankie. And you can get 15% off when you enter code HOUSEWIFE at splashblanket.us or just click the link in the episode description. Splash Blanket is leading the way in creating and designing durable and sustainable waterproof blankets, assisting couples and individuals to feel more free and liberated in the bedroom, knowing they can make a freaking mess and not need to sleep in a wet spot or strip the sheets, do freaking laundry after sex. No, thank you. That sounds absolutely awful. So get you a Splash Blanket. They're available in over 5 sizes, 3 main styles, the OG, Fur Lush, and the Bamboo G. So whether you want super absorbent, fluffy, or silky smooth faux fur throw, or even a lightweight, sustainable bamboo sheet, Splash Blanket has the most extensive range available for all your sensory taste and preferences. So go get you that 15% off your order. Use code HOUSEWIFE. Go to splashblanket.us, or again, the link is in the episode description. Instead of moving right into a question, we're going to do a little follow-up. I'm not going to read every one because I feel like when I do that, it gets really redundant. But just summarizing and pulling just from what I read, I asked the women to tell me like what they did to get their hot back post-baby. And I noticed some women got really vulnerable and like sharing how depressed they were. They had postpartum. They had postpartum anxiety. They had to like hit rock bottom and like realize they were at rock bottom before turning around to be like, I gotta get my fucking life back and like my, like who I am, whatever. I am Kayla, I am Sally, I am Jordan, you're back. And I think that's a lot of women's stories. Like, you are not a freak of nature. You are certainly not a failure. And from women I've talked to that have experienced that, all the women I know have found support and had support. And there are some women who don't have that and who don't have the resources that other people do. And your hormones, man, they are like, it's proven. Your body, you just had a baby. You just made life, delivered it one way or the other. And now your body is just adjusting to everything, all of it. So that's why men, if there's one time in our fucking life, and there's going to be multiple times. So I got like the mental health side from a lot of women of like, this is what it took. But then on the more like physical, like what did I do? Some women were sharing like, oh, I went like carnivore only, which I really want to do that. Like I want to be like 80%. A lot of girls said the 80-20, like 80% clean. I want to be a carnivore. I want to be a carnivore 80% of the time. And then the other 21 is pasta. Speaking of pasta, no carbs. Read smut. This was one girl's answer. No carbs, read smut, and have sex with your husband. And I was like, she wins the answer. She wins. Some girls shared and got bony and said that getting on GLP-1s has been a game changer. I wish I had this for my first and second, which I mean, hey, if you're done, it's 2025. We've got this option now. And by the way, I partner with LifeRx MD. So want a transition, you can go to liferx.md, and if you use my promo code, we can click the link in the description. It'll take you right there. You will get $50 off your first subscription. They offer NAD+, which very interesting. Say you don't want to go that route, we've got options. The NAD+, anti-aging, that's like age reversal. And then the peptide programs, the weight loss, and do what you got to do. Do what you got to do. I think it's really important to stay active, to be mindful about what you're putting in your body, not just like fuck it, free for all, and then hopefully this will, that's a Band-Aid. That's short term, not sustainable. So really taking action and then having a GLP-1 to help you cross that finish line and have transformative weight loss, which I'm like, if you grow a baby, you earned it, bitch. So that's always an option. So you can check out liferx.md, link in the description. And then what else? Getting your hot, the sex, the smut, the masturbation, getting in your body, not forgetting what shit feels like. Your nipples. Say your nipples are numb now because you're breastfeeding. When you stop breastfeeding, you're like, oh, like I'm numb, I'm dead forever. Not true. Not true. You don't like to use it or lose it. You're like, well, they were used, but they were used for feeding, and hopefully like you were getting sucked and fucked by your husband, in between being a mommy. But once you're done breastfeeding, let's get the eroticism around the nipples back. Let's get the eroticism around the nipples back, which means stimulating them, maybe even experimenting with like some sort of nipple toy stimulation, ice play, wax play, and let's get those nerve endings back. Read about that. Like it returns. It returns. Like your nipples, your body, it returns. Not always the same, okay? Not the same. Everything changes. And so many women of all body types will tell you changes, but I think it's even more beautiful. I think it's even more beautiful than before. So the hot really is a mindset first. But you can't tell me, and I hope I haven't pissed all these like people off. Oh my God, is that a daddy long leg? Is that a daddy long leg? It's a daddy long leg. It's PTSD. One time I had a daddy long leg on my head at camp, and I'll never forget it. What am I going to do? Spray it with Windex? You can't tell me that if you work on looking good, that you won't feel good, because you will. When you look in the mirror and you don't hate what you see, that feels good. If you look in the mirror and you fucking hate what you see, it doesn't feel good. If you're always talking to yourself negatively, you're going to see me like, burn the house down, burn the house down. If you're always talking negatively, like I'm fat, I'm ugly, I have to do this to myself. I have body fucking dysmorphia. I do. Or I'm like, maybe I don't. Maybe I'm just fucking hideous. Happy medium, maybe. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. You just see me just like, you see the daddy long leg just fly at me. Oh. Why do they look like that? And is there more where he came from? Is there a nest of them? Get outside and walk. If you love Mina, get some Mina in your ear, okay? That's where you want to hear it, okay? She lives here, by the way. And I'm just like, do you ever see someone and you're like, I love them and I know I want to be their friend, but they would not be my friend. Like she wouldn't like me. I just have this funny feeling she'd be like, you vape, because she said how ugly vaping is. And like, I'm going to hit, if there's a THC pin, I might hit it. I'm gonna be uglier and probably do the real flow. So if you think the vaping, the no smell is ugly, you're gonna think I'm just a hideous beast. Anywho, be you, sweetheart. Be you. You don't have to run. You can walk fast. You can eat the things you like in moderation. Like, did this turn into a skinny podcast? Or no, this is just part of the brand. It's the horny housewife. And this is the housewife segment. And I'm telling you, bitches, what someone needs to tell you. Do a 5-minute beat. Be natural. Your man likes it that way anyways. And you don't even have to go all the way and dress up. Just wear some like body con shit, okay? And your man will love it. And if you think, your man loves every curve on you and he wants to eat that shit up. And if you don't wear that shit, like I'm literally like in fight or flight, it may feel weird at first. It's like lip liner. You're like, oh, what's going on? What's going on? Blend it. But you'll get used to it. It's like putting on an eyebrow pencil for the first time and you never have your virgin. You're like, I look like the Grinch. No, you don't. You needed the structure in your life. So get out of your comfort zone. That's how you get your hot back. So just following up on that, we're moving forward. I am going to go kill this spider. I'm not even in the... Jesus, take the wheel. I can't see. Oh, I'm going to throw up. Ah! I can't. It's not a daddy long leg. It's worse. It's something worse. Romy, my dog is like, what the fuck? I can't even do this. I can't. It's so big. Oh my God, it's dead. Romeo, you're useless. Oh my God. Okay, well that book is going in the trash can. I can't even pick the book up. But I do see his guts and there's 2 of his legs. So he's got to be dead. I'm back. Oh my God. My husband will tell you like that. Like spiders are, I'm very scared of spiders. So we did it. So I took the book and I launched it. It's like a big book and I launched it. It was like this big, guys. It was that big. Okay, literally in real time, I just read this, opened this, and we're doing it. Listener question for you. My husband and I have been together for 15 years and the bedroom has always been fire, but lately initiation has been so awkward. Once we get into it, everything is amazing, but the startup has been weird. I used to be ready to go always, but lately feel like I need a little more to transition from exhausted mom to sexy wife. I think every woman can relate to you. Every woman over 33, no, I'm guaranteeing every woman over 35, and I'm going to guess that most of every woman over 30 can be like, if you have kids. His initiation is always a cheesy line or something. Doesn't really do it for me. Any advice on how to improve this? Okay. So what it should do, guys, please fucking listen up. What it should be is we should be able to go talk to our husbands. And the thing that sucks about it is, our men want to be everything for us. And they know they're not. They know they're human, okay? Well, I would say mostly all of them know that they can't be at all, okay? And women, they can't be our cup filler, the only cup filler. They can contribute to filling the cup and love with deposits, withdrawals. They can contribute to that, and that's what they should do, and you're worthy of that, and you deserve that. But they can't be the sole cup filler. Okay, that's unrealistic. We can't depend on them in that way. That's codependency. Hi, I'm codependent. And I work on it. And I get better at it. And I've gotten so much better at it. And I've found myself in that process. So 10 out of 10 recommend. Anyways, my hopes, an ideal situation would be that you're able to tell him and be like, I know this might suck to hear, but you're my person and I want to come to you. No, scratch that. We're workshopping. They can get there. You're like, that's what I'm going to think about the whole time is his ego getting bruised. And so that's why, like, men listening, like, please, like, I know it sucks and we can get our feelings hurt sometimes, both. But that is like being in a relationship. That's having a partner, is having uncomfortable conversations, right? And you just said if there's shit that's weird, sometimes shit's going to be weird, okay? And so bringing it out, airing it out can diffuse it. Sometimes it can make it a little more awkward, but you got to think about like the alternative of like not saying anything and it like piling up, creating resentment, not getting better, getting worse. And then sometimes we hope like it'll like blow over, brush over. And sometimes that's the case. That does happen. But sometimes then we end up waiting and like it'll brush over and it doesn't. Or there's ebbs and flows, but it inevitably always returns back to this place or feeling. So that's when you're like, no, like this has to be a conversation. Like we need to like do something about this. And men, I know you want to be everything for your woman, like I just said, and I'm repeating myself. But you can't. You can't always be that, and you know that, and she can't be everything that, you know, it can't be this perfect thing we have in our head, expectation that is not human being. But emotional intelligence is being able to bear that uncomfortableness, save space for them, and vice versa, and try not to trigger the other person, JK, or if you get triggered, you know, just kidding. I think like box breathe, slow, deep breaths, hold, blow out, hold, and say, hey, I love when you do this. If you like started off with something that you love that they do, a compliment, something you like in bed, even if you're like, I have to pull from 2.5 years ago, whatever you got to do, girl, to remind him of something good boy. And segue that into, you know, how you have felt lately, you know, really make it about I, not you're not. And easier said than done. But, you know, I wish I had someone in a moment be like, make sure you don't do the you're not, you can't, you won't, you haven't, because it can really like put certain people on the defense. Some personalities more than others, but you know, it goes so much better if you use I statements. And sometimes they'll evolve into you statements, but we got to start off with the I's, okay? And hopefully, again, an ideal situation is that he's able to hear that and then y'all can course correct, make adjustments, and yeah, it can be bumpy and awkward, but we got through it. We've talked about it. Now we're working on it and now it's getting better. That doesn't always happen. Sometimes you talk about it, you make hints, you beat around the bush, you're straight the fuck up and nothing gets better. Or maybe they think they're trying, or maybe they think they are doing something about it, but it's really not landing. It's really not hitting. And it's hard to be like, when you say that stuff, it's like cheesy and fucking annoying and like low-key a turn off. But guys listening, if she's ever kind of like rolled her eyes at something you do for foreplay, chances are it's not her jam and it's not turning her on and it's not doing what you think it could be doing or might be doing. So you got to think about this in ways that like she's receptive to. There's so many good guys with good hearts and good intentions, like the good guys, and they just can suck at foreplay. I did an episode recently, like fucking up foreplay. Please listen to it. If you haven't listened to it, you need to listen to it. And we didn't even get into meat spins or, you know, coming up and just doing the hand with the down the crack like a credit card. And maybe it sucks that all the things you used to do that were flirting in the beginning that we giggled at and blushed at and turned us on, and it was slap our ass and ready to rip our skirts off, but it is what it fucking is. So you can be the guy that like chases that tail and you're that guy and that feels good and that strokes your ego. See how your life turns out and pans out. Someone left me a comment and was like, keep calling cheaters a piece of shit. It keeps us in check. It is a piece of shit thing to do. It's just selfish. It's just selfish. Like selfishness at its peak. Like I think it's healthy to be selfish sometimes. It's necessary to be selfish sometimes. But when it comes to that, I think there's so many other ways to go about it. Even just being like on the up and up about it. If like you're at that point, then I say like, and I know there's people that will say like, but the stakes, and I don't know that, like, there's all kinds of different stories, and I could hold space for all the truths, but it doesn't change my opinion that it's piece of shit behavior. Doesn't mean you're a bad person or you are a piece of shit. It's piece of shit behavior. Yeah, exactly. So I also want to validate, like, you may be feeling like unfulfilled and resentful and like, oh my God, this isn't sustainable. Like, I want to be turned on. Like, are you able to express what you like to him? If you're able to articulate all the things and you just feel like it's not landing, that sucks straight up. That sucks straight up. And I love writing a letter, getting a third party involved, but listening to podcasts like this, like planting seeds, send a fucking article, like look up a topic and then like screenshot or send a link. Do what you need to do to like get through of like, because if not, guys, it's going to end up in like a bad way, because sometimes that's why people go out and do something destructive, is to get that attention. They're like, I feel misunderstood. I don't feel heard. I'm going to blow it all up. And that's toxic behavior and not healthy. The person doing it is probably spiraling, but it happens all the time. It happens all the time. So if you want to like avoid stuff like that, you really want to make an effort to make sure your spouse feels heard and understood. Doesn't mean you'll get it. Emotional intelligence is a learned skill, but the willingness to try to understand, to evolve and be like, okay, let me like take steps and not just like sit on my ass and go backwards eventually. So ask your wife, ask your husband, do you feel understood? Like, do you feel like picking up what you're putting down? Is there an area I'm lacking in? And be willing to hear and try to receive the message. And remember, you two are on the same team. So this is what everybody should be learning from this listener question. That's the beautiful part about listener questions, is seeing a scenario, maybe being able to relate in some way, and then hear like, oh, we're hearing about that couple, but we could really apply this, and this, or we could get ahead of this situation, or we need to check in, or, oh my gosh, like that's been happening. She's been saying that shit and it's just flying over my head. You know, like think about all the guys that have been like, they've, made advances, tried to like do all the chores, tried to take the stress off, try to be there because they're just dying for some intimacy and connection. And it's just her just like flying over her head, or she just doesn't care enough. And it's just this so sad. He feels this way, she feels this way. And it's like, oh, it's awful, right? And then there's the other side. And it's like, look what all these miscommunications, this misunderstanding, this just missing each other. And then the person feels lonely and isolated and resentful, and nothing good comes from it. And usually it's not, people will convince themselves, oh, they need something else, they want something else, it's something else, someone else would make them feel really better. And a lot of times that's not the answer. That's not the answer. Tell him what turns you on. Also take initiative Show him what you like. Maybe sometimes tapping into a more aggressive, like, I'm going to show you side. And I hope that he'll learn from that. Pillow talk is a great time to talk about the sex you had and to, share what you like, what you don't, what you fantasize about in a non-attacking way. And then you can always write an email. This isn't doing it for me, Todd. It's really not doing it for me. And I wish Todd listened to this podcast so he can know. And a lot of the times they just don't know. They just don't know. Y'all should watch This Is 40 together so he can get a little check of oh, I need to give a fuck. And you're not alone. So many women feel like you. A million quadrillion women at some point or another. You're not doomed, okay? There's ebb and flow. We haven't even talked about how you're feeling, okay? Please go do your research on what's going on in your body. Just because, why the fuck not? Why the fuck not be in the know? Where my hormones are at. That I always reference that Marcella Hill interview about the hormones and stuff is so enlightening. I mentioned it last week too. But she was 35. She was, I don't know how old you are. Why did I just assume your age? And sometimes, I don't want to make you paranoid, but sometimes his stress level or something could be going on with him. And as a result, it's translating in the bedroom. Don't spiral about this, but having a heart-to-heart could do wonders. Trust your gut. If your gut is something off, inquire, whether to his face or when he's in the shower. The guys are to his face. Stop it, Jordan. Stop it. I would tell the guy and the girl if they needed peace of mind to do what you need to do. I'm not being double standard about that one. But you've been together a long time, and you know what the other person looks like naked, and you can predict things, and you know their schedule, and you know a lot about them. So having those conversations is important, and being hey, let's set the atmosphere, set the tone. Let's do something about this. Let's be sexy together. Let's do something sexy. And fill in the blank of what you both find sex. It doesn't have to be something super kinky or we gotta go do some wild taboo. No, it doesn't have to be that at all. And maybe the conversation is uncomfortable and so not sexy, but I promise you that is gonna get you closer to sexy things than no conversation. And if any of you listening have a come through story, there have definitely been times where I feel I have to bring things up more than once, or I have to share where I'm at for whatever reason, whether it's hormonal or it's I just feel blue, We're humans and it's not always consistent and we go through seasons, and that's the beautiful thing about it being your person is that you should be able to share where you're at. And I think if something consumes you and overtakes it to the point that now it's dying and you're in this dead bedroom situation, it's yeah, you can't just be and you just need to accept this. I know there are certain circumstances which it's yeah, you fucking do. But there's lots that people just sit in it and they just go backwards. So come together and practice some radical honesty. But I have high hopes for you. And men, quit it with the cheesy pickup lines. They're never hot. They're never hot. And your wife just goes out of her fucking way and does so much shit that you don't even know about. I get it. Neither of us will completely, fully know what the other person experiences at their job. If you're have different careers, if you work together, I guess you do. You'll never fully know what it's like to be in his shoes, and he'll never know what it's like to be in your shoes fully. But you can try a little bit to really be holy shit, I really appreciate them. I don't even know. Imagine they die tomorrow. I know that's really morbid. And is that toxic? Is that fucked up? Is that manipulative? But just do it. If you've had someone you love just die, I'm sure you'll know, like, oh, I didn't really appreciate them as much as I wanted to. I know we can't live and be like, they're going to die tomorrow, so I'm just going to give them everything they want. I love them. And I know you can't do that, but you probably could reframe that perspective just a little bit. Pick up a different pair of glasses and be like, gratitude. All you need is love. Love. All you need is love. Well, I'm not a singer. Make podcast equipment 800,000. Today's episode is brought to you by Blue Chew. Okay, we love a confident daddy zaddy. If you don't know what Blue Chew is, you're living under a rock. You are? You definitely are. It's an online prescription service giving you the same active ingredient that's in Viagra, Cialis, Levitra, in a chewable tablet. And now they have Blue Chew Max, which is a combo of the active ingredient Viagra and the active ingredient in Cialis. Pooh! Harder, better, faster, stronger. So yeah, start doing that. It all comes to your door. It's all done online. So bing, bang, boom. It's affordable. It's fast. It's easy. Very user-friendly. I watched Daddy D do it. You talk to a U.S. licensed-based physician. You don't have to go wait in line at the pharmacy. You don't got to have no awkward conversation at the doctor and waste half your day. Bing, bang, boom. Discreetly arrives in a few days at your doorstep. No brainer. And if you use Mommy's code HOUSEWIFE, you can try Blue Chew 1 month for free. So go to bluechew.com and use code HOUSEWIFE at checkout, or just click the link in the episode notes below. Since we're on the inspo train, to my traditional folkies out there, as far as like you appreciate gender roles, maybe you're like, yeah, me and my wife are the like stereotypical gender roles. I work, I provide, she stays home. Maybe she works from home. Maybe she doesn't. This isn't like there's right or wrong. And even if the roles of how you work are reversed, fuck all of that, whatever it is. I still think, this is just my opinion, man and woman, if the man and woman are married, that the man being the man and the woman being the woman, that you will benefit from letting the man reside in his masculine, and am I going to lose some people here? And women sitting in your feminine and softer side. Doesn't mean you don't. Like, I totally think the 80-20, really, you should know that other side and feel comfortable and confident in that other side, whether like really immersing in that other side at times or really like blending, right? We want men to be able to be soft and tender, and maybe that doesn't come as, as natural for them, but we're appreciative and grateful when they're able to show a softer, more vulnerable side of them, right? Just like when a woman can step up and be a strong leader, badass bitch, they fucking rock at it, right? Like, we love our masculine side, and blending the two, like, chef's kiss, gorgeous. We love when they can complement each other nicely. And isn't that the ideal situation? But there's something in a relationship, especially, that I really appreciate. And maybe this is growing up religious, but I'm not religious whatsoever. But I find peace in it. It's almost like my body and my spirit and my mind feel safe in that, like in the letting him lead and the letting him be the head of the household. This can trigger people, but my big fat Greek wedding, when she said that the man is the head and the woman is the neck, nothing is more true. Okay, so just because they're the head doesn't mean we're just down on the motherfucking ground. We're not doormats. We're not the fingies, okay? We're not the foot. We're the neck. We're the fucking neck, okay? So this head, okay, we need it. We love it. It's doing a lot. But guess what this neck can do? I can turn it this way. I can turn it that way. I can bring it back. I can snap it. I can double tap it. I can double take it. You know what I'm saying? So I don't even know. I don't even fucking know. Maybe I was really fucking stupid. But it means we have a role and we're able to greatly influence in the direction in which the head is facing, okay? And the feminine can really, even though we're sitting in our soft or we're, we're letting them lean, just our energy can speak volumes, and our discernment. Like, I think women have a gift, some more than others, that's for fucking sure. But I think women as a gender have more discernment and intuition than men. Don't hurt me, man. Don't hurt me, man. And there are strengths that men have that we don't, right? Like that I think men in general are just better at. That's just me. And the two together, power. And sometimes we have to check ourselves and go, how am I showing up in my relationship? Am I steamrolling my husband? Am I emasculating my husband? Am I disrespectful? And then on the other end, men, if you are disrespectful, and let's just make one thing clear, not disrespectful on your terms. That's not disrespect. Are you fucking sure? So y'all need to double check together of what you would define as disrespect. So make sure you're on the up and up with that. And then, also ask, do you feel disrespected? Certain situations at certain times and certain moments. And that can happen. We're humans. We can say something we don't mean or say something and not realize the impact or how it came across. Tone is huge to me. Tone, that's a big deal. It can change everything. It's not what you said, it's how you said it. And so, men, if you feel like she's really disrespectful, it's very fair to ask yourself, does she feel disrespected? Because a lot of times a woman will match that energy. And when you do show up and you lead and you take on that masculine role and you step up to the plate and show up for her, and we can get more specific of what showing up for her means, because it's not just physically. And that other side, the emotionally showing up for her, could mean a little part of your feminine is but you can look at that in a million different ways. I think that's my opinion, that's part of being a leader and keeping peace and harmony in the home. And there are some men that grew up and were modeled this, and it was demonstrated for them, or maybe it wasn't modeled really well, but it was taught and instilled in them as that's what a man does. And other times that's not. And I guess it just depends on who you're asking if that's the best way or how it should be. I'm doing my little bunny ear quotations if you're not watching the YouTube video. So, there's room for multiple truths in this situation. But I guess, the people that I would relate to or find myself being like-minded with is that I think the most successful, harmonious duo would have a man show up where that woman feels so immensely safe, and not just safe in the way of like my physical protector, which is nice and all, of course, but emotionally has my back, like ride or die shit. And feeling seen by them. To be seen is to be loved, from what I hear. So yeah, and women, maybe you are like, you know what? I do steamroll. I do diminish him. Are you making fun of him a lot? Like, you got to think about some things that don't bother us, or how we kiki really makes guys feel like shit. So check that. He may be laughing, giggling, and deep down he really hates it. So there's that. And men, ask yourself, am I being a beta bitch? Am I showing up? Am I, if my kids are being little fucks, am I saying something? Or am I letting my wife just get plowed over? Or am I demanding more from everyone? Not just being, oh, it's because I said so, but like explaining what's going on here. Do I have a presence? Not, am I afraid? Not like boomer status where we were just afraid of dad and what was going to happen. But being afraid of someone and respecting someone is very different. Cycle breaker. Try to be a cycle breaker. And I think we're all like maybe swinging to the pendulum swung too far over. I think a lot of people have overcorrected, right? We're like over validating. I really try to find the happy medium. But I'm sure lots of people, all the millennials, can relate to maybe growing up with like blind respect or like blind obedience. And really, I could see how that could be incredibly harmful and lead people into bad situations. That discernment, critical thinking, asking questions, those are great things. We want our kids to do that, right? And when a woman does feel emotionally safe and physically safe and provided for, that's part of being that masculine man, in my opinion. Mommy can feel at peace. Mommy can feel safe. Mommy can feel happy, right? And I know these are like, happy is a fleeting feeling, but like I said last week, probably the week before, and other times, happy mommy, daddy, happy kids, right? And I know we don't stay happy. And kids should see, like, there's nothing wrong with your kids seeing you be sad. They're going to see you be sad. And showing them how you get through being sad, or being able to talk about it and it not be something we have to just be quiet about, because that's life and that's normal. What can feel depleting, what can feel exhausting is when a woman gets stuck in her masculine. She has to show up in this way, because if he is not being her rock, and I'm not saying men, you always have to be the rock. Like, you're able to be human, right? Like, what about us? What about me being human? What about me being stressed? What about me needing to lean on my person? 100 million, quadrillion, zillion %. But there are some men who are just emotionally unavailable. There are some people emotionally abandoning their spouse, and they don't even know it. Maybe they weren't modeled to show up in that way. So if you are constantly feeling like, I'm never getting it right, it could be something that it's like, oh, there's something that I didn't learn or wasn't modeled when I was younger, that my wife is articulating she needs something that I'm thinking I'm giving, but according to her, I'm not. So, there's a disconnect. How can we get to the bottom of it? That's when I think you insert a third party. Shit, people are like using ChatGPT. Try that. Give that a whirl. Try something. But if you see that that's a theme or a narrative, which I hear it all the time, but it's just never enough. I just can't, it's never enough for her. I swear, it's like a giant misunderstanding loop death death loop. Yeah, are there the situations of truly insatiable women? But I don't even want to say that, because then all these men are going to be like, well, then that's mine. So find out. If you went to her and asked, do you feel misunderstood? And she says, yes. She's not making that up. I promise you, she would love to be able to feel like she wasn't speaking Spanish. And it goes both ways. Him, if she's all in her masculine and it kicks him into his feminine because she's dominating in this masculine, he's not feeling his best self either. That is not a confident man. That is not a man who feels masculine. And there are some men that'll say they don't need to, or they thrive better. And like, again, okay. Just sharing my opinion and my preference and maybe what I believe that we were designed to be like. You're like, oh, so you do think there's a right way? I mean, I'm thinking in terms of like animal kingdom here, not like a book told us it's this way or that way. I'm thinking like animal kingdom of sorts, male and female, gender, really. So what do y'all think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I think there's a reason that women thrive. I think we're the nurturers. I think that comes natural. We're relational. We're smart AF. And I think that the men, they go get the meat, they bring it home, they feed the family. Call me old school, call me dated, but isn't every power couple have a little bit of that with a sprinkle of boss bitch in there? Maybe. But I welcome a different perspective. I welcome your story. I welcome if you agree and why you agree. And if I get like a big response on that or some, shit worth sharing, we can follow up. Next week, I vote we, get very horny housewife and we talk some technique. Give everyone a little something to do the next time they get jiggy with it. If you want to write in for listener questions, please do. You can write in anonymously at thehornyhousewifepodcast.com. Don't forget to follow me on social media at THHpod. If you want to watch the podcast, head over to YouTube. If you're here, make sure you're subscribed. Click the notification button. Please subscribe. Please subscribe. Comment below if the poll that's going to happen on Monday. Feel free to share your feedback below in the comments. Tell a friend about The Horny Housewife, and I will see you all next week.